So, unless you've been living under a rock, so about 2 weeks ago, I believe, Bob Saget, they found him dead in his hotel room. And I didn't do a video on it, but I kind of just waited for the details to come up because I was like, okay, you know, they didn't give anything at first. No one knew what to think. And I wasn't a big Full House fan. I know for a lot of people who are fans, you know, he was like one of America's TV dads. You know, I wasn't really into Full House, but I seen it. I mean, you couldn't have not seen Full House back in the 90s. I was more of a Boy Meets World kind of kid back then. But anyway, Bob Saget, they claimed they found him dead. And what was tricky to me, or funny, or well, not funny, but just odd, was the police said there was no sense of drug use, or foul play. But then when they did the autopsy, they're saying, the medical examiner is saying something different. They're saying that he had brain trauma, like blunt force trauma, you know, like head trauma, excuse me. Something, you know what I mean? So it's like, wow, did somebody beat Bob Saget? Like, did somebody kill him? And then they're saying, oh, when they found his body, he was sitting up in bed. And I'm like, that's odd. So I'm like, what are you talking about? He's just sitting up in bed. So now they're trying to come to this conclusion that he hit his head on the back of the headboard. Everyone's done that before. Hey, I know I'm not Bob Saget. I've done that before. I've never cracked my skull. I'm not buying this. And I bought a lot of stuff. I'm not buying the idea that Bob Saget cracked his skull on the back of the headboard of a bed, and that's how he went out. I'm just not. With all due respect to, you know, the family, you know, I'm not buying that. I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't even have any hair. And I've hit my head plenty of times on the back of a headboard. And I was like, damn, but crack your skull? Now, what really got me, and I was like, hold up. You know, this is just my conspiracy theory, personally. I'm like, why is the family hiding this from the public? You know, this is people's TV dad. And I get it. It's a private affair. It's the family, you know. But to hide this is fishy to me. Because if he died simply from an incident like this, a freak incident, this is as relevant. Hitting your head on the back of a bed headboard is as relevant. That's basically the same thing as hitting your pinky toe on the bed rail. That's such a common incident that happens. And if that's how he went out, I don't see why you would be hiding the autopsy records. They're all, as far as the family says, media outlets like TMZ and them have been reaching out. People want to see these records. People want to know. You know, rather they just want to be nosy, or people who are just hurt that were connected to Bob Saget as a fan, they want to know what happened. Because it doesn't seem like that can be the real deal. And maybe it is. I don't buy it. You know, to me, this could either be a drug deal gone wrong, or, you know, somebody in that family did something foul, possibly. Somebody knows something, and they don't want that out. And it's like, what is this that y'all don't want to get out? It ain't just, oh, Bob hit his head on the back of the head. Something else is here. And the medical examiner said they said his head, the trauma he had, it looked like this was the type of trauma your head would have if you got bashed in the head with a baseball bat. You're not hitting your head that hard on no headboard, man. And then they also said it was either equivalent of getting hit in the head with a baseball bat or getting dropped head first like 30 feet. You don't hit your head that hard on no headboard. I'm not buying that. You know what I mean? The Saget family, I'm calling a bluff on that one. You know, and only his two daughters and I forgot who else, they have, you know, they get the records. But that's the story that they want to push, and they've already filed a complaint with Orange County Court and whatever. Like I say, they've got it to where no one will ever find out on record what really happened to Bob Saget. And I'm like, well, who killed Bob Saget? Because for him to have that amount of brain damage, head damage, that ain't happened from you just hitting the headboard. They say he was sitting up. For all you know, someone could have killed him and then sat him up in the bed, and that's what they came up with. This is what we're gonna say is what happened. Let's lay his body in the bed, sit him up, and we could use that excuse. This is just what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm tripping. I watch a lot of Forensic Files and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I done seen so many, all kind of stuff. But that seems more ideal of a realistic idea to me than him just hitting his head on the headboard. I know. Hell no. Nah. I'm not feeling that. I don't think that's the truth. I think somebody killed Bob Saget. And like I said, his family has decided to tie this up and keep this under wraps. Excuse the dog that you probably hear in the background. These white people be walking their dogs all the time. Not that that's not what you're supposed to do, but they just do it a lot. But yeah, so that's just my own personal conspiracy theory about Bob Saget, because I know, you know what I mean, for you to have that kind of trauma, brain trauma, blunt force trauma, and you got that from hitting your, I would have been dead years ago. As many times I'd have hit my head on the back of the damn bed. But man, please, I know. You know, somebody's covering up some dirt. Somebody did something to Bob Saget, and it's probably a family member more than likely, and they don't want to go down. That's just what I believe. So that's just my own spin on it.